Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be another long video. We're going to touch on a few basic things, a few basic topics. The one thing actually being discussing their coaching and their coaching programs and things like that. So first, I want to start off by saying for those who have been reaching out to me, family, friends, people who are in this group, and for those who have been sharing their experience with me, I do appreciate that. And I'm glad these videos are of help to anyone who find these videos useful. So I do thank you and I do appreciate your guys' feedback and your support for these videos. If you do see me look down, I'm just going to be looking at notes that I've written down. Um, One thing I really want to do is actually just bring awareness once again to not only what I've experienced, but others have experienced, and just general information about this group. Specifically for those that this is your first video, your first time watching my videos regarding this. TFU or TFAS, Twin Flames Universe, or Twin Flame Ascension School, Jeff and Shaleia, however you found it, have looked it up, or whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and pretty much jump into it. The one thing I wanted to address is for for those who are who have family or friends within the group who unfortunately may have cut ties with you due to the influence or due to the guidance of this group because they may have been informed that for whatever reason it might have been beneficial for them to separate or keep a distance from you. I am sorry to hear about the struggles that you're going through with that. I don't know how that feels. So sadly, I can't really speak to that on how my feelings are towards that. Me and my family are very close. So if my family were to cut ties with me due to the influence of the group that they're hanging out with, I can only imagine how much hurt and how upset I would be personally. So I am sorry that that is something you are going through. I hope things do get better, and I hope at some point in time your family or friend will reach out to you and try to mend those relationships. If you are someone who has cut ties with a family or a friend due to this group, and maybe you want to mend that relationship, but you're not quite sure if that is something that is worth doing, I would recommend, if that is something that you feel like you think you should do, reach out to that person. You never know. They might be just waiting for you to make that decision to come back into their lives. So that's all I have to say on that. Yeah. Also, I wanted to mention kind of right away for those who might be having some unhealthy thoughts or might be seeking help, or you might be looking for help, please reach out to excuse me, a professional who handles any situation that you might be going through, and you actually need to speak to someone on a more professional level. That is not what I am certified for. So I can't help you with that. Please reach out to a professional who can assist you with that so they can help you move forward with whatever issues you might be having. So, so once again, like I said, I'm going to be touching base on the coaching, as specifically the ascension coaching that they have, and that, I guess, program, I guess I can call it, or certification, I guess. So let's get into that. So the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to be posting screenshots of not only what I'll be discussing, but also of things that I mentioned in previous videos, and things that I've read from previous videos. So I know the last few videos, I don't think they had any screenshots in them, so I do apologize about that. But this video will have that. So yeah, let's get into it. So one thing I wanted to talk about was when you become an Ascension coach. Now, actually, I have a screenshot of some of the coaches. They had like master Ascension coaches, and they had like regular Ascension coaches. Um, with the Ascension coaches, this was a program that they had paid for teaching. Should I say that they had paid for um, to have pretty much this title. And then also within the group, there was just regular coachings or coaches. So people who did not take the Ascension coach program, but also were teaching Jeff and Shalea's teachings, or coaching to Jeff and Shalea's teachings. So pretty much the benefit, I guess, of being an Ascension coach was the fact that in a way you kind of had first dibs on people who were seeking coaching, because you were like the person who was like the recommended coaching. They had a specific like list of the recommended coaches, Ascension coaches, that people could, of course, reach out to. Now, that's not to say that people couldn't go to other people in the group who were coaching. It's just these were the recommended people that they suggested people reach out to because they specifically paid for this coaching. So you would assume that they were better than the standard coaches that were in this group. The one thing about the Ascension coach, or the program, or whatever you want to call it, is that that title could be taken away from you if you were not in good standings with TFU, TFAS, Jeff and Shaleia, however you want to name it. If you were not in good standings with them, that title that you spent money, time, and effort to achieve could be taken away from you, and there was nothing that you can do about it. And they would call this, falling out of alignment with their teachings. So, to be an Ascension coach, we're going to talk about pricing and the qualifications that you have to have in order to be an Ascension coach. So, to be an Ascension coach, you had to have the All Class Pass and the Life Purpose subscription. And then on top of that, you had to, of course, pay for the Ascension Coach training. And this is going to be how much it's going to cost you. So, including the All Class Pass, including the Life Purpose class, and including the Ascension Coaching program, if you were to pay everything, whether you did the All Class Pass, and then the Life Purpose, and then the Ascension Coaching, if you were to do all that together, or if you were to do it separately, but the total, if you were to pay for all of this and only choose the one payment plan or the one payment option for each one, because you also had to be in the Life Purpose class and in the All Class Pass for at least 2 months before you can even go for the Ascension program, Ascension Coaching program. But in total, if you did the one payment, you would be paying a total of $9,120. So, if you are not paying for the classes in one full payment, so the total pricing, if you were going to do installments for all of these classes, technically would total in the amount of $10,571. And I will, like I said, I will post the screenshots. You can also go to the website if they haven't changed their pricings and see, calculate pretty much and see the pricings for that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was with the Ascension program. I'm sorry, should I say the Ascension coaching program? Now I'm not sure. I can't remember. And I do apologize about that, and I wish I had screenshots. If someone does, you are more than welcome to send those to me. But I can't remember if this was a post or if this was a video. But I remember Jeff and Shaleia had specifically had I think it was a post, but they had talked about how to pretty much get a loan to fund the expenses of the Ascension program. And how you can talk to banks and kind of put together a business plan or whatever the case may be, on how they would pretty much make their investment back, because even though this class was, this much, with that certification, you'd actually be able to charge people more money for coaching. So you'd be able to make that money back a lot quicker, because you would just, be a priority on the coaching scale and you would receive more clients. So you'd be able to make that money back a lot quicker. Like I said, I wish I had the screenshots on that, but unfortunately I don't. I think it was a post. So if anyone has that, please send it to me if you'd like, if that's something you want, because I'd like to definitely get that out there. So let's talk about the certification for the Ascension Coach program. Excuse me, get some more water. So with this certification, you can't take it anywhere. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do with this certification. You can't take it to a firm and say, hey, I would like to be a life purpose coach, or a life coach, and take on some clients, or help me get some clients for you for your business, so I can, however that works. It's nothing. It's a title that only means something in the TFU community. If anyone has ever gotten a job outside of TFU, regarding you telling a company that you are a Twin Flame Ascension coach, please share that story with me, and how that went and how you approached this company and got that, because I would love to share that, because if that's something that you were able to do, I would like to hear about it, because I would find it extremely rare that a company would take something like that. So yeah. Especially with now, they look up what this title is, and, of course it's going to link to Jeff and Shaleia's site, and of course, a quick Google search will definitely pop up the wonderful websites out there regarding people feeling that this is a cult. You have the Vice article, you have 2 Reddit groups, if not more, regarding Jeff and Shaleia. One being regarding their map business, and how someone's experience through their so-called map program, and then also TFU. And then there's also another person who actually wrote another article outside of Vice regarding the group, and talking to people who have left the group. So there's also a podcast out there. I think there's multiple podcasts, but I know there's definitely at least one podcast out there who has mentioned Jeff and Shaleia and the situation that this and them being in this Vice article and just literally just kind of going in on this and just talking about how they do feel like it relates to um, previous cults and stuff like that. So if you haven't read the Vice article, I recommend that you do. I would definitely leave a link down below along with other links to the Reddit posts for both the TFAS and the map, which it's in the I think it's the Reddit PS post-traumatic depression. I forgot exactly. I think it's PSD Reddit post. So I do have those links. I will definitely post them in the description so you guys can read those. So yeah, and just to kind of let you guys know of the groups that I was in when I was in TFU, and I'm just gonna make this really quick to kind of just touch base on so we guys kind of know where I was or where I was standing in. And there were a few different groups. There's only one group that I question. I might have been in it for a short time, but like I said, I can't remember that thing. But it's only one group that I'm questioning whether I was in or not, because the posts between the two groups seemed very similar. For the most part, like if they posted something in one group, they posted in the same thing in the other one. So the one was the leadership group. I was in that one. The other one was, of course, the open forum. Now this is the ones that I'm a little confused. I'm a little bit confused and I can't quite remember. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think there was a life purpose leadership group, and then there was just a life purpose open forum group. I think I might have been in both if there were two separate groups. And like I said, the reason I can't quite remember is because like I said, if they posted something in the, like, say, the Life Purpose Leadership group, that same exact post was posted in the Life Purpose group. And I didn't pay much attention to figure out which one it was coming from, because it was the exact same post. It was like copy and paste pretty much. So just a heads up on that. So I just want to kind of touch base so you guys kind of know what groups I was in when it came to this particular community. Here's another thing I wanted to touch base on: the amount of time and effort that people were spending in TFU and TFAS and an LP and whatever else, and they just does not seem to come closer to the things that they were promised. Specifically, I'm going to address the twin flames. If someone was like, this is your twin flame, this is, we're confirming it's your twin flame, and you're taking even if you're just taking the one class pass, not even the all class pass, you're taking these classes, which is, if you're watching them, whether you're live or you're watching them, they're an hour and a half, so it's 90 minutes, and you're still not getting closer to your twin flame. So you think maybe you need to dig deeper, and maybe there's some blocks that you haven't healed, or can, for whatever reason, you can't reveal to yourself. You hire a coach, so then you spend coaching. You have coaching sessions one-on-one with a coach, and those can last an hour. So that's what you're talking about, 2.5 hours. And then you're doing this, say you're watching the classes multiple times a day, or multiple times a week, and then say you have a coaching session maybe once or twice a week. That's a lot of time to spend, and a lot of money to be spending, and then you're still not getting any closer to your twin flame. People keep talking about how, the person who they thought, or who people told were their twin flame, they're not getting any closer to them. They're not, they still don't have any communication with them and things like that, and you're continuing to struggle and, almost in a way try to make up blocks or blame yourself for why you can't get closer to this person. So yeah, it's a shame, and it's sad to see that, and it's sad to hear that, because there are plenty of stories out there who people talk about how they have done, mirror work after mirror work, and they continue to heal these quote unquote upsets that they've had within themselves and within their twin flame. and they're not getting any closer to this person. So just something to be mindful of. So Jeff and Shaleia always talk about making sure that you pay for the services, making sure that you're on time with your payment, right? You should be paying for. You should be on time with your payment. The how you respect the payments of the program is how you respect yourself and how you respect God, which I have a completely different opinion about that because um, how like you're pretty much like here's my thought process on that. You're saying that how I pay for these classes is showing how I respect God. Like that makes no sense to me unless you're trying to say um, that you are God or that and I'm not saying you saying that, but to kind of associate with the payment or my payment associated with that on how I respect God and stuff like that's just a little bit weird. I mean, there are people who have they needed to cancel their subscriptions because they needed to save money for whatever reason, and they got put on a watch list. And I do have pictures of the watch list. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it on this video, or I will post it on another video. But I do have that. So that is something that you guys will see. I, of course, will take out the names, as I always do. But you will see the reasoning behind why they put these people on watch lists. So that'll be interesting to see. Um, and the reason I bring up the payment thing is because you talk about people paying, of course, for your stuff, but then you turn around and delete accounts. There are multiple people who said their accounts have been deleted. Anytime they showed pushback, especially the ones who are speaking out. So if you're going to be deleting accounts, are you returning the money that they spent, or did you already spend it already? So just a question. Um, by the way, for those who are wondering, it is the 20th of February, and actually I've had to, this is actually my second time recording this video, because I actually recorded this video about a week and a half ago, or about a week ago. I do apologize. About a week ago, I was doing a few recordings back to back, and HR has still yet to reach out to me about what's going on with my account. So for those who were wondering, there you go. So I wanted to touch base on this as well. Jeff and Shaleia constantly say that people who leave the group or people who actually speak their mind and actually have any type of disagreement with them are out of alignment with love and out of alignment with the group, aka Jeff and Shaleia. And this is sad to see because that means that you are not open to any type of other feedback or anyone else's opinion. If it does not agree with you or what you think or your thought process, which for me I think is very self-centered, they're out of alignment, and you guys are quick to kick people out and block them, especially now with everything going on. So I just wanted to bring that up because that's going to be something to watch out for. I am going to read a few messages regarding something as far as a message that was sent out to a coach's client. So we're going to talk about that because they definitely mentioned about how this person somehow, for whatever reason, fell out of an alignment with Jeff and Shaleia's teachings, aka they fell out of alignment with Jeff and Shaleia. Also, they mention that if you leave the group, you're not choosing love. And like I said, I feel like that is a toxic statement because just because I decided to leave the group does not necessarily mean that I'm not choosing love. Choosing to leave an abusive relationship is choosing to love yourself. Starting to set boundaries for people not to cross, and when they do cross them, to make sure that you are addressing that. That is loving yourself. So when Jeff and Shaleia always talk about, oh, they're not choosing love. Is it the fact that I'm not choosing love, or is it the fact that I'm not choosing you, in a sense as to letting you choose how I think, how I should act, and what I should believe. Um, because telling someone that, oh, because you left, you're not choosing love, you're not loving yourself. But if I'm saying in an abusive relationship, whether that be a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a relationship with a family member, um, choosing to love myself and not accept that anymore is still loving. It's loving for me. It may not be loving for that person, because they lose that sense of, okay, now they can't control you anymore. They can't manipulate you and have you do what they want you to do. So I just wanted to bring that up. Gonna At the very end, I'm gonna read the messages as well. So I just want you guys to know. So here's the funny thing. So Jeff and Shaleia teach the mirror exercise, which someone has stated that this teaching of the mirror exercise is actually a ripoff of someone else's teachings. I forgot exactly the woman's name. It's really irrelevant. But they always talk about doing the mirror exercise to heal your blocks. And as you continue to heal your blocks, things will fall away. People will fall away that aren't meant to be in your life. Attack isn't real, things like that. And the reason I bring this up is because if you guys have upsets, um, y'all must have a lot of upsets, because I mean, you couldn't mirror away the fact that Vice wrote an article about you. You couldn't mirror away the fact that you have people who are speaking out about the BS and the abuse from the group. You couldn't mirror away the fact that there's a Reddit post that continues to grow every day about people's coming out stories from the group. You couldn't mirror away the fact that there's someone who made a Reddit post about your mapping technique that you so-called created to help cure PSD and things like that. Now, they had mentioned videos about how they can help people with their PSD, but then in their, of course, in their website, because of legal reasons, they definitely make sure to state that this mapping technique does not cure PSD. They're making no claims that it does that. And then also, none of the people that are in this company are actually doctors. When it comes to handling this type of issue. So, just saying, y'all ain't doing your mirror work apparently, but whatever. Um, so just once again, just going back to the verbal abuse. I know I'm kind of hopping. I do apologize for those who are watching. Once again, Jeff is talking about choosing love. And I want to mention just once again the verbal abuse that has been going on in TFAS. And like I've read it in my previous video, Jeff had mentioned three things I wanted to put out there. One, once again, he had called or he had told his salespeople that they had a little bitch consciousness. And these are people who supposedly work for you. He also called them too broke or too poor to buy his products. So it just means that that is a very self-centered uh, statement. You're stating that you're not willing to make any more products for your business because the people who you associate with in this group, the people who are technically, I want to say, below you, your salespeople, or your coaches, or the people that you would maybe market to in the group, are too broken, too poor. Yeah, and then also saying that they are acting like rats scrambling for crumbs. And of course, I will put screenshots. But yeah, all of that is a form of verbal abuse. So if I were to leave a situation like that, where I'm not letting someone belittle me and crossing respect boundaries, at that point in time, from what Jeff and Shaleia are stating, and multiple times throughout their videos and posts, that at that point in time, I am no longer loving myself because I am choosing not to be verbally abused. I am choosing not to have someone cross boundaries. I'm choosing to, have respect for myself, but that's not choosing love. So, okay. Let's get into um, the messages. So let's go to the wonderful message about the agent or the person who reached out to another coach's client to inform them that they are no longer in good standing with Jeff and Shaleia's teachings, and they should, for their benefit, they should most likely switch coaches. So we're gonna read this. I'm also gonna post a screenshot on this near the end of the video so you guys can see this. What I might do is I will post a few screenshots in during this video if I haven't already because of editing. But then I will also post things at the end. So if you are watching this in your car, please, wait until afterwards. Or if you are at home, after I am finished speaking and finishing up what I have to finish up, I will post screenshots at the very end of the things that I have talked about in previous videos as well as this video. So just a heads up. Hi, so-and-so. It has come to our attention that you are currently working with Coach a coaching client. So and so or Coach A is no longer um, an affiliated Twin Flames Universe coach, and therefore is not currently in alignment with the core teachings of Twin Flames Universe. While you are completely free to get coaching from whomever you choose, as a student of Twin Flame Ascension School, we highly recommend working with a coach currently in our currently in our association of Ascension coaches. That's in alignment and good standing with Twin Flames Universe. This would be in your option. I guess they meant to say in our opinion, and benefit to your ascension path. Working with a coach that is currently choosing separation will not serve you. So, okay, no, I'm sorry, I misread that. They were correct. They said this would be your option and benefit for your ascension path. So you're literally telling this person that, hey, in a way, subconsciously, that if I continue to work with a particular coach, I am not on the correct path. But if I choose to go with one of your coaches, then technically I would be on the correct path on my ascension. Then they go on to say, we have a list of recommended ascension coaches posted in the Twin Flames Universe open forum, should you choose to select a new coach. For those who want to contact me, if you have anything that you would like to have me address, or if there's anything that you would, any proof that you guys would like to send me, I recommend that you private message me. Do not leave a comment, because I know they got people watching these videos, and thanks for the views. Appreciate it. So I would recommend that you private message me, and I will provide you with my contact information on how you can send me that information. And I will, of course, make sure to remove your contact information, your name, anything that might hint to who you are to the best of my ability. So if that's something you would like to send me, or if there's anything you'd like me to address that I haven't already, and of course there are more videos that will be coming out, please private message me, and I will definitely, handle that. So thank you. I've already addressed that, but once again, I just want to kind of touch base on this again because it is very important to me, because it does involve family and friends. Once again, if you are in the group, or if you're in TFAS, or whatever the case may be, you're associated with this group and you've cut friends or family off, and you want to get in touch with them, or you feel like you might it might be useless to contact them because maybe of how you might have acted in the past. And I'm sorry, this white balance keeps going, acting funky. Um, but don't be afraid to try to reach out to your family members or your friends and try to heal that relationship. Because you might think that your family is against you or out to get you or out to not see you succeed. And I know there are certain times where that might be the case. But there are also those who they just want to see you happy and they want to see you healthy and they want to see that you're doing well. They just want to make sure that nothing weird is happening. You know, they just have your best interest in mind. And they just want to make sure that you're not being emotionally damaged or emotionally hurt by being associated with this group. So if you do want to, or if you have been thinking about reaching out to your family, just to kind of say, you know, whatever you want to say, don't be afraid to reach out to them, because you know there are some of you, there are some family and friends that have reached out to me, and you know they do want to see how their family and friends are doing, and they just want to make sure that everything's okay with you. So um, just a heads up. That's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, another video will be coming. Um, you might actually see me in, just so that way if you have any questions, you might actually see me in the wolf shirt that I was previously in the other video, because I did multiple videos back to back. But for some reason I had to re-record this one because something was wrong with the very end of the audio. It was only a few seconds that were like the audio kind of like cut out for a second, and then it came back. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys got everything that I had to say. I think I addressed everything a lot better in this video than I did the first one, so I even might go back to the pre-recordings that I have from the other videos that I haven't posted yet and fix those up before I release them. So once again, I do thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys for your feedback, your support, and your love. And once again, as soon as I finish talking, when I cut out, I will be posting screenshots of all the wonderful things that I've gone over in the last few videos, so you guys can actually see it in black and white. I hope you guys take care, and I hope things get better for you guys, and much love, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.